I made $113,000 last month, and I'm 19 years old. And today I'm going to explain to you exactly how I did it so you can do it too. Exactly as you can see over here, $113,000, all the WAP that we payment process through, all the Stripe as well. You can see all the payments process that we have on PayPal, as well as all the calls that we are able to book, as you can see here. And so, yeah, basically today I'm going to tell you about not just all the proof that we have, but our entire traffic process, our entire product, our entire processes on how we run the company with, our entire investment process on how we get our freaking founders in the door, our product, even more, and finally our team, and I'm going to give you a special present at the end. So this all, however, begins with, of course, the PayPal, the proof, all that you saw over here, and the ETH proof as well. But the thing is, it really starts at the core with the product that we have. As you can see, we host our fulfillment system on Discord, as you can see over here. If you come over here to the general chat, it is active as always, and the wins it's ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous how much we have. You can check out all those things over there, and I'm going to go a lot more in depth into that. But first, I want to explain to you then the sort of processes that we run the company on. So basically, we host all of our SOPs and all the components here on Notion, and pretty much we have a YouTube project management system to manage all our YouTube projects. We have all of our SOPs here. We have our SOPs here, SOPs here, all our founder files, and then SOPs here. So I just want to show them to you really quickly. Basically, these are our Instagram projects. This is all the SOPs that we have for our marketing, our sales, and our fulfillment. Basically, you need to really systematize everything if you want to run a company properly. And man, yeah, this is exactly what we are incredible at. And so afterwards, though, what it really comes down to is now I want to explain to you how we're able to get this amount of customers in the door. Starting with, it really starts at the top, at the core, with our YouTube channel.
It's boring, but 10K a month.
Our founders in, which is what we call our customer base. And so it really starts out with YouTube and the sort of three type of shows, because the YouTube channel is really just think about it like a TV channel, and think about it how there's like Avatar, Pokemon, or whatever different shows on the entire channel, which is Cartoon Network. And so I kind of perceive the YouTube channel in the same exact way. And so for instance, what we have are our course series, which are these long 5-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, multiple hour videos, and 10 hours, right? Pretty crazy. And then we also have another show, which is our podcasts. So the podcasts such as the Rojal podcast over here, podcast with my mentor who did $48 million a year. And so you have to really perceive YouTube as this different types of shows to then attract audiences to different unique sort of content that attracts the same audience. However, they get variety because the different shows are different. And also we have the edited wider TAM videos, which sort of are like these ones. And so, yeah, then over on Instagram, I would say this is also another top of funnel. Basically, the content strategy here is for us to clip up the longer courses into the reels. And these get quite a solid amount of views for, honestly, the low amount of effort that goes into these. Like, it's literally, I don't do anything. My clipper just sits there, and then he clips these up. And yeah, we just get tons and tons of views from that. So then afterwards, with the posts, it goes more towards the social proof, so showing the nice, lavish lifestyle that I'm living. And by the way, I only have 2.6K followers. And inside of our Skool group, which I'm going to show you the middle of the funnel part, we only have 3.2. And with this low amount of follower audience, we were able to collect in revenue, do $113,000, 45 cash collected. And so pretty impressive. You better freaking listen up. And so then afterwards with the posts, there is the stories, which are basically just life updates and reposting of YouTube videos. I'll show you a bit more the story tactics down over here with the Instagram CTAs. But for now, I'm gonna then go into our middle of the funnel. So it goes from YouTube, then from Instagram, then into the middle of the funnel, which is the free Skool community. Basically over here, we have over 3.2 thousand members inside. And the sort of strategy that we use to nurture the Skool group is this. So for our value posts that we have in there, there are something like this. And this is pretty much just our emails, copy and pasted. William, my biz partner, he's a freaking cracked ass email copywriter, and so he writes these out. And finally, at the end, we CTA, and look, it gets 216 comments, like crazy amount of engagement with these leads, just freaking willing and looking for the lead magnets, which then we go in and I'll tell you what we do with those, right? But then another one, 152 comments for all the people that are super duper engaged and wanting the sauce. And so very clearly, we have pretty engaged groups there. So that's one compartment of posts, which are the value posts, then that goes into the group engagement posts, which are these sort of polls that we put up. Hey, for instance, how many growth operator clients do you have? We've had a few other ones of these, just getting the group, hyped up. And that's why we have consistently 21 online members. And if you go over to the metrics, we have yeah, 45% active, which is pretty freaking high for a group on Skool. And then finally, reposting the YouTube videos over into the Skool group is another thing that we do just to get further engagement of notifying the people in the Skool group that, hey, I post on YouTube. So it's almost like not just YouTube to Instagram to Skool, but then it's kind of like a flywheel across these three different components. All right, and then afterwards, reposting, yeah, we talked about that. And then also content. Right, so also in the Skool group, there's basically the value that we provide of the different sort of courses that we have in there. So organized YouTube videos over in the classroom section, we have our YouTube videos nice and cleanly organized so that they have a lot more sauce to consume over here. So once again, that flywheel effect, right, with YouTube. And finally over here with the documents that we give them for entirely freaking free. Just to get basically started, hit 10K a month with growth operating yourself, and we can go and help you scale. And finally, over on the so we said YouTube, Instagram, then that goes into the Skool, and also with the emails that we have. These are pretty much emails that Will also writes. Once again, I told you that they are reposted onto the Skool group, but then we also have email lists going out, as you can see over here, all these emails that we have. Then afterwards, we go into our investment process. This is the first step on how now we take the value that we provide in the market and we start extracting the value to give them more value. Like I showed you earlier, right? That CTA over to the templates. Then we say contracts, and then our setters go in there and they send them the contracts over, and then we begin setting process, but I'll tell you that a little bit later. Then over here with the emails, there's also, guess what? Since these are repackaged over here to the emails, within the emails, we also have CTAs, reply contracts, and I'll send it to you, right? And the CTAs, boom, then it goes with the contracts. And as you can see, some of these conversations, there's like, the setters are going in here and like conversating with the people in the emails, trying to get them to join in our incubator, which is just going to provide them more value. And then finally, with the Instagrams, the strategy over here is the posts. Basically, there are CTAs that I have in my Instagram over to reply. Over in the YouTube, or sorry, the Instagram Reels, we CTA something like YouTube, and they boom, boom, request for stuff. And all of these CTAs, by the way, you got to have it a powerful smash punch CTA. And so in this one, I'm like literally CTAing, hey, I'm going to send you an entire 10-hour plus course that I created for you to smash through growth operating service delivery. And by the way, if you don't know what growth operating is, basically it's the thing that we teach, right? It's a model where you go and monetize creators and whatnot. And then afterwards, over here with the stories, we just do now, more CTAs, and then this is, yeah, stories, we CTA once again. All right. Then afterwards, what happens is they go from all this attention then down into the CTA over into our Instagram DMs. Then they apply for an interview. They basically save their spot right here. So this is the application process that we send them through. Basically, after they go through and the appointment setters go and conversate with them, they have a nice chat. And majority of the time, they're like so freaking ready to buy because, you know, we have provided them so much value. And so afterwards, we send them through this application funnel, which is basically over here. They go through and press yes or no, and they go through the entire form like this, boom, boom, boom. And then afterwards, from the form, they're here to book an interview. They book an interview over here. And afterwards, they go in and we confirm their interview with this sort of thing to get them to make sure they press add to calendar. There's a bit of sauce for you guys if you guys are running this sort of funnel. And then afterwards, we go in there and we give them an entire 1.5 hour free training, which basically just serves as the VSL. And then afterwards, we go and interview them and then we onboard them. The majority of the time, guys, pretty much they're ready to be invested into, right? As in like get sold into the incubator, because we basically give them everything for free to start growth operating. And they've gotten freaking results already from all the sauce that we give them. And then afterwards, all we have to do is be like, hey, now we're gonna help you scale. Because look over here in the win section. I mean, it's ridiculous. All the different people that are winning just from the free value. Like this freaking Goresh guy, 28.85K in 11 days. Like, ridiculous. And so they get all these results. And afterwards, we just go in there and we help them scale, as you can see, which is exactly what we do over here in our product, which is a perfect transition over to the first step in our product that we help them out with. As soon as they are entered into the program, we send them this application form, understanding more about what exactly the situation is. And afterwards, we go in there and we book in a onboarding call with them. Within the next 4 business days, we're gonna go and chat with them up. And afterwards, once the call is confirmed, we send them just a confirmation thing over to their email. And so what that looks like then is all of those calls being tracked over here in our onboarding form, all the data over here, and then all of the calls being tracked over here. So you make sure that we are tracking everything for our customers. So then afterwards, we can go and really pick that data out and see exactly what the best people are doing. And then afterwards, keep improving our product. And so afterwards, we then send them a personal dashboard, which is basically like, if you think about it, how do you guarantee that your customers get success? Well, you create something that is like unfuckable, right? I don't want to curse on here. And so we give them like this entire step-by-step on, hey, this is going to take 2 hours. This is going to take 1.5 hours. This is going to take 2 hours. And then we have all the videos and the resources there that they need to look at every single little step. If they start on for instance, like the 25th, then these dates are going to adjust to that so that all the timelines are made sure. Then we have an entire outreach tracker for them to make sure that they start outreaching to their creators, then sign their first growth operating creator, because growth operating model is basically just an agency model, right? And afterwards, we go in there and have them track all the calls that they have booked to sign their first creator. And yeah, then afterwards, that goes into the curriculum. Not just this, but this is basically the front-facing UI. UI basically means UI, user interface, right? For all of the material that we have inside of here. We have an entire course on how to execute with growth operating. I think it almost goes up to like 40 hours now as you start adding more things in there. It's pretty freaking crazy sauce. And we have all the founder files, which are basically the documents, the SOPs, the SOPs, by the way, are standard operating procedures, all the sort of technological things that they need to use and just kind of like plug and play into their growth operating business to then get insane results. This is why our freaking, I'll show you later, but our wins channel is like absolutely dumped and filled. Then afterwards, we go over to the incubator, which is exactly what I'm gonna show you now. So over here, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? In here, I'll tell you the sort of fulfillment structure that we have. Basically, we run what are called panel calls, which are just community calls, but then inside our community, we call them panel calls, right? And this occurs once a week for 2 to 3 hours, and we're scaling to more of these soon. Right now, as you can see, over here on our panel posts, we notify the group of all the events that are going to occur. Basically, for each week, we have a unique little thing. This time, it's, hey, what sort of things do you want to conversate about? Another one is like, hey, here's a form to fill out a Q&A for. Another one is, hey, I drop all the sauce, by the way, on the calls that we have, those panel calls. Right, and then we go in and then we put all of the calls on the back end so that they can access them. All the Fathom recordings of the entire group, just going in there, chopping it up with us, and then watch all the recordings of everybody together. Great. And so now we have this nice community effect going. Awesome. And afterwards, then we have our founder studios, which are one-on-one chats and conversations that we have with the founders. As you can see, all of them are nicely attended to by Tian, our incredible teammates, who is just destroying it with the founders, getting them partnered up, and she's just like fulfilling like crazy and just creating a relationship with all of them. All right. And so that is what the incubator looks like. And then from there, we get like an absolute obscene amount of results, because just our fulfillment is so dialed in. Like, you can't even stop scrolling. All right, let me see here. And by the way, this is just inside the incubator. This is not even the free Skool group. So if you go like, this just kind of keeps going and going and going. People making money, people making results for their creators. Yeah, it's pretty, it won't even load. Holy shit. Yeah, so it just kind of keeps going and going and going and going and going. Yeah, so it's pretty nice. And then we have an entire folder where we collect all of our wins as well, so then we can use it in our marketing, because, I mean, that's why we provide such a good product, right? At the end of the day, like, I make money when the founders make money. And so it's a flywheel effect. Flywheel effect. All right, then finally, this is the juicy part, which is our team structure. Basically, we have me as the CEO, sort of CMO role, and the CMO as in marketing, CFO as in finances, and then Will plays as the COO, he's my business partner, and the sales manager sort of role, and then Alex plays more on the product end, building out that entire personal dashboard. This is what he did, great work on him. And then the tech side over here, he then manages our advisors. Advisors are basically CSMs, but then we call them advisors in our group. This is Tian over here. And then our partnerships, which are the sales team and then investment team, closing team, and then the sponsor setting team, right? We have 2 setters, we have 1 closer. And then afterwards, it goes into the editor and thumbnail designer for my content team, which then goes over and posts YouTube videos there. We also have an accountant and we have a data manager, and we're gonna scale this out a lot further as we scale to $1 million+ a month. All right, but then with all of that, the final thing is I wanna show you our team communication, because we hold everything inside of the Discord, not just the communication with the incubator and with the founders, but also with the entire team. So we have our home base channel, we have a leadership channel to talk about me, Alex, and Will, talking about marketing, right? We have our sales talking about all the setting components over here. We have our fulfillment side where we talk about how to deliver our founders better results. We have our operations talking about HR, hiring, and finances and whatnot. All right, so with that being said, the special present that I have for you today is if you want to do this exact same business model that I just explained that made me freaking $113,000 at age 19 in just 30 days, but you don't know where to start, then basically I growth operate for myself at the fundamental first principle. And so you go over here to the Skool group, boom, join now, and then press this yellow button here. It's going to give you an entire free 20-hour course on exactly step-by-step how to do it. 5 hours, freaking 1 hour. We have another one down here, like 10 hours, entirely free. All the YouTube videos organized to the best, freaking most optimal course as possible. And then finally, you come over here, we're gonna start adding free onboarding calls where you can talk to us one-on-one to get the exact step-by-step action plan that you need to get started with growth operating. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.